Even apart from the recent Epstein file leaks, there are a lot of other celebrities who are involved with him. Honestly, Hollywood is worse than you can even imagine. I could still name quite a few people.
People that are in the position to actually know the people's names on the list, those people are probably in trouble.
Yeah.
Because that's a crazy piece of information to have.
Look,
no one's been tried. No one's been brought. No one's been discussed. We know who went there. We know flight logs. No one talks about anything. There's no effort to prosecute.
Actors and actresses in the audience, they look terrified at the idea of you mentioning their name. Did you feel that?
I did, and I noticed it the first time. I didn't get it. Like, one of the first one I did it, people would come up and say, "What are you going to say about me?" I think, why do you care? I only go after their public behavior.
According to Ricky Gervais, he only focused on public behavior and widely discussed celebrity moments. Still, many viewers noticed the uncomfortable reactions inside the room during some of those jokes. Over the years, online audiences have continued debating why certain topics seemed to create so much tension among Hollywood celebrities.
Who do I pander to? The 200 richest people in the room, or the 200 million people watching at home who aren't winning awards, who aren't million.
Ricky Gervais often joked that his real audience wasn't the celebrities inside the ballroom, but the millions of viewers watching from home. His Golden Globes monologues became famous online because of how direct and uncomfortable some of the jokes felt in the moment. Over time, many internet users began revisiting those clips and connecting them to later celebrity controversies and media discussions. Some online commentators also pointed to the public criticism surrounding Ellen DeGeneres and the decline of the Be Kind image that once defined her show. Former employees and producers publicly discussed negative workplace experiences, which fueled broader conversations online about celebrity culture behind the scenes. However, many of the more extreme claims circulating on social media remain unverified and heavily debated. Each year, the Golden Globes gathered some of the most powerful names in entertainment into one room, and Ricky Gervais became known for delivering sharp monologues that openly mocked celebrity culture, media narratives, and Hollywood scandals in front of that audience.
That's a show about a man who wants to kill himself because his wife had cancer, and it's still more fun than this, okay? Spoiler alert, season 2 is on the way, so in the end, he obviously didn't kill himself. Just like Jeffrey Epstein. Shut up! I know he's your friend, but I don't care.
All that stuff I said in the show was true. I said, I'm going to write my own jokes. Right? And I thought, who do I pander to? The 200 richest people in the room, or the 200 million people watching at home?
Ricky Gervais repeatedly emphasized that his focus was on the viewers at home rather than the powerful people sitting inside the awards show audience. His comedy style often targeted celebrity culture, media image management, and the disconnect many viewers felt between Hollywood and the public. Over the years, some fans began looking back at those monologues differently, especially after major entertainment industry scandals later became public. One moment people frequently reference is when Ricky mentioned journalist Ronan Farrow during an awards show appearance years before several high-profile investigations reshaped conversations around Hollywood power structures and misconduct allegations. Many online discussions now interpret those uncomfortable audience reactions as evidence of tension inside the industry at the time, although much of that interpretation remains speculative and based on hindsight rather than confirmed facts.
I can't tell you that I had a crystal ball.
The fallout spreading from Hollywood to corporate America, the media, and Capitol Hill.
And knew that there would be this incredible flood of people in industry after industry, women and men coming forward with difficult claims.
In 2020, one of Ricky Gervais' most talked about Golden Globes moments came when he referenced Jeffrey Epstein during his monologue. The reaction inside the room quickly went viral online, with many viewers describing the atmosphere as tense and uncomfortable. Clips from that speech continue circulating across social media years later because of how directly he addressed celebrity culture and public controversies. Around the same period, Jim Caviezel also became a widely discussed figure online following his involvement in Sound of Freedom, a film centered on child trafficking awareness. Caviezel, who was previously known for starring in The Passion of the Christ directed by Mel Gibson, spoke publicly about challenges surrounding the film's production and distribution. Supporters of the movie argued that Hollywood studios were hesitant to back the project, while critics debated some of the claims and online narratives that later formed around it. Over time, The film became part of larger internet discussions about media, celebrity influence, and how controversial topics are handled within the entertainment industry.
I became aware of the dangers that go on with children around the world and through that process.
Comments made by Jim Caviezel during interviews sparked major debate online, especially among viewers who believe certain Hollywood studios were reluctant to support controversial or politically sensitive projects. Some supporters of Sound of Freedom interpreted the film's difficult release process as evidence that the entertainment industry was uncomfortable with the subject matter, while critics argued those claims were exaggerated or speculative. Despite limited backing from major studios during its release, the film still performed strongly at the box office and built a large audience through word of mouth and online promotion. That unexpected success became part of a much bigger conversation on social media about independent films, Hollywood gatekeeping, and the growing divide between mainstream studios and certain audience groups.
It was one of the hardest things I've ever done. But I had a lot of experience from the Passion of the Christ. And we were humiliated. We were taken through the ringer in the media. This was before Trump came out and said it was, the lying media and the fake news. And they were fake news back when we were doing that. But we had to fight for everything we had. And so we got that film done. So I had a little bit of experience of what this can be like.
After the fallout surrounding Jeffrey Epstein, online discussions began expanding beyond individuals and toward larger questions about celebrity privacy, elite social circles, and the lack of transparency around ultra-exclusive locations, such as private islands and retreats. One celebrity frequently mentioned in those internet discussions is Naomi Campbell, partly because of public reports connecting her socially to Epstein over the years. Archived flight logs, media reports, and court-related documents fueled online speculation about the nature of those connections, although Campbell has publicly denied having knowledge of criminal activity connected to Epstein. Internet users have also discussed reports about a proposed luxury island project associated with Campbell near Turkey, which gained attention online because of its unusual eye-shaped architectural design. Social media users frequently connected the design to symbolic imagery, though there is no verified evidence supporting the more extreme theories circulating online about it. More broadly, these conversations reflect how public trust in celebrity culture shifted after the Epstein case. Many people began questioning how powerful figures socialize in highly private spaces with limited public visibility, while others argued that internet speculation often goes far beyond what has actually been proven or verified.
So one of my best friends, she's not here today. She was human trafficked by Naomi Campbell. And Naomi is also Diddy's the godmother. So she started meeting with all these famous people, and they connected her with certain people. And then all of a sudden she's at these parties, and I see she's doing drugs and getting out of control. And eventually I had to start rescuing her from parties. And then a few of the times I had to rescue her from Naomi Campbell's apartment, sleep over, and then I would pick her up.
This is a direct character assassination. I've always said that I'm not a saint, that I am a work in progress, but I will not be held hostage by my past. What he's done is indefensible.
Court documents and released communications connected to Ghislaine Maxwell and Jeffrey Epstein have fueled years of online discussion surrounding several public figures, including Naomi Campbell. Some emails and reported social connections became widely circulated online, leading to debate across social media and commentary channels. Campbell's legal representatives have publicly stated that she had no knowledge of Epstein's criminal activities, and no criminal wrongdoing by Campbell has been proven in court. However, internet commentators continue discussing the length of her publicly reported association with Epstein, especially after details from court records and media reporting became more widely known. Following the Epstein scandal, many online discussions expanded into broader conversations about celebrity networking, elite social circles, and the privacy surrounding exclusive properties and gatherings. At the same time, critics of these theories argue that social connections alone should not be treated as proof of criminal involvement, and that many online narratives often mix verified facts with speculation.
After watching the Diddy documentary, I found myself going back down the Epstein rabbit hole, which then led me to the dark side of Naomi Campbell. If you're unaware, Naomi Campbell is one of the original supermodels, one of the first Black women to appear on major publications. featured on over 500 magazine covers, and worked for some of, if not all, of the biggest fashion houses. It's safe to say she has insane connections. One of those being Jeffrey Epstein, publicly admitted that she knew Jeffrey Epstein and was introduced to him when she was 31. She was introduced to Epstein by her ex-boyfriend Flavio Briatore, I don't know. The reason this is important is because this Flavio fella is connected to a lot of sketchy people, or people that we know today to be sketchy. We see this a lot where supermodels are dating people like this. Flavio also has a child with Heidi Klum. Anyway, Flavio and Naomi are pictured on Epstein's yacht, surrounded by a lot of people, including, at the time, teenage Virginia Giuffre. So there's no denying that Naomi was connected to Epstein and his cohorts. Allegedly, there are emails where Naomi is talking about Ghislaine Maxwell being a close friend of hers, arranging trips to foreign countries. Naomi's spokesperson came out and said Naomi does not recognize this email exchange. There are claims from survivors that she was more involved in Epstein's inner circle than she leads on, allegedly. A lot of these documents remain sealed or unverified. It means that we can't really say she's guilty of any wrongdoing, but she definitely has connections to some of these sketchy people. Another really sketchy name she was allegedly romantically linked to was the disgraced Sean Diddy Combs. This was in the early 2000s, and they were seen going to many events together, but they were never confirmed as a couple. A lot of people think that models happen to end up in these circles because they're in the pageant world or the supermodel world, which breeds creepy, weird old men who want to be in charge of that.
Oprah Winfrey established the Oprah Winfrey Leadership Academy for Girls in South Africa in 2007, a high-profile educational initiative aimed at supporting academically gifted students from disadvantaged backgrounds. The project was widely publicized as a major philanthropic effort and received significant international attention. In 2011, the school became the subject of controversy after allegations emerged involving a dorm matron, Virginia Tiny Makopo, who was accused by some students of misconduct. The case went through legal proceedings and she was ultimately acquitted, but the situation led to broader scrutiny of safeguarding practices and supervision within the institution. Supporters of the school highlighted Oprah Winfrey's philanthropic contributions and the opportunities the academy provided to many students, while critics and commentators raised concerns about oversight in highly private or residential educational environments. In later years, there were additional discussions and reports about student welfare policies, though the institution and its foundation have disputed claims of systemic wrongdoing. More broadly, this case is often referenced in online discussions about how institutions in remote or highly controlled environments are monitored, especially when public figures are involved. However, comparisons to unrelated cases or broader conspiracies are generally considered speculative and not supported by verified evidence.
What Oprah Winfrey has done for those children at that school, it's really encouraging, it's outstanding, it's really appreciated by the entire South Africans. But unfortunately, the justice system in every country is not about what you know, it's about what you can prove in a court of law.
Beyond schools and institutions, some online discussions have also expanded into the broader topic of private estates and highly exclusive retreats owned by public figures. For example, media reports have often mentioned that Oprah Winfrey has maintained private properties and retreat-style locations in Africa, including her well-documented Leadership Academy in South Africa. These places are typically described as private and highly controlled environments, which has led some internet users to debate how transparency and oversight work in such settings. However, there is no verified evidence suggesting wrongdoing connected to her properties, and her philanthropic work has been widely recognized. Similarly, entrepreneur Richard Branson owns Necker Island in the British Virgin Islands, which operates as an exclusive private resort frequently used for high-profile guests, corporate events, and private stays. Over the years, it has hosted various celebrities and public figures, and its privacy has often been discussed in media coverage. Like many luxury destinations, it is designed for exclusivity, which naturally limits public access and external visibility. In another well-known example, magician David Copperfield owns Musha Cay in the Bahamas, a private island resort often marketed as a luxury escape experience. It is known for its high-end rentals and secluded environment, which again reflects the broader trend of ultra-private celebrity-owned destinations. Actor Leonardo DiCaprio also previously purchased a private island in Belize, originally announced as part of an eco-friendly development project. While environmental approvals and planning processes have contributed to delays, no major construction has been publicly completed for many years. Overall, these examples are often discussed online in the context of privacy, exclusivity, and how little visibility the public has into elite-owned spaces. However, most of these narratives rely heavily on speculation, and there is no verified evidence linking these properties to any illegal activity.